Hello, welcome to the Hump Day edition of Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over at winnersandwiners.com.
And together, we are trying to help you head back to the window to cash those winning tickets. It is Wednesday. Good afternoon to everybody that's joining us live. Good to have you here. Nathan Cerna in the house. Said he fell for the banana in the tailpipe yesterday. Didn't know that Belmont and Oral Roberts sucked this year.
I'm going to keep an eye on Oral Roberts for totals, because if you're giving up 100 plus to Colorado State, I'm going to have to look at overs for your team.
Yeah, either that or Colorado State is way better than people thought. So
that too. But Oral Roberts, we know, was a very up-tempo team last year. They have some solid talent. Defensively, not exactly their strong suit.
No. Good to see Michelle Wares in the house. David Stanton needs another. Got any more of them bet the farm picks, Scott?
Farm picks? Farm picks?
As a matter of fact, we got you. We got you. We got one covered. We got you covered. We got one coming up. But overall, how was your day yesterday, my friend? How'd you end up doing?
Not great. Well, the farm pick helped out, but I ended up losing with St. Thomas. Beat a big line move. Didn't matter. Line moves sound good. Unfortunately, you have to actually cover no matter what the number is, and they did not. They were in a good position. They were covering with about 5 minutes to go, then completely fell apart. Happens, but, got to bounce back. Still a long way ahead in the week.
Throw that in the closing line value trash can, Scott.
Yep.
You did beat a nice line move. And for me, my cautiousness paid off. I stayed away from that game. I wanted to see at least one game from St. Thomas at the D3 level. So
the athleticism not there. Let's put it that way.
They look like a D3 team so far, right?
The ball movement was okay. The shooting, the truth is they really shot the ball terribly in the entire first half. They shot about 22% from three in the first half, while Chicago State shot 50%. That's going to be tough. Yeah. But athletically, they had issues on the glass. They couldn't really stay in front of guys that well. The athletes aren't exactly D1 quality. Let's put it that way.
Yep, absolutely true. I had a decent day. We missed in a game we're going to get to, in the place you don't want to be when you got one of your picks out there. We're going to talk about it and call the cops. But did okay. That was the only thing we lost. We hit both of our premium plays, had Miami taking care of business against a suddenly horrific Buffalo team. Holy shit, have they gone off the rails. And then I had KU over Michigan State. I honestly didn't see any other way for that to go. And KU played with them a little more than they thought. They kind of had, 6-7 point lead there for most of the game. And then they went on a little run, 13-5, but that was enough. That was all it took. So JC Stone in the house, AZ with the cover, late pucker, but held on. Scott, is there a better feeling as a sports bettor when you are in the position to perhaps get ready to call the cops, and then you get that late fumble or something happens, you hit a 66-yard field goal to win your teaser or something like that? Is there a better feeling in the world than snatching victory from the jaws of defeat as a sports bettor?
Depends which pick of the parlay it is. No, but actually, yeah, of course it's a great feeling, but it doesn't happen as often as you'd like, and I feel like that's definitely selective recall. You remember the losses more than the wins.
No question.
So if you have a couple of, I'll just say, unexpected winners that you thought were dead maybe 10 minutes prior, try to savor them a little bit.
Yes. Try to put them in your bank for when you bitch about that bad beat you took. Because you feel like they should even out, but it definitely doesn't feel like they do.
See, John Cena says, does anybody here do live betting? Unfortunately, John Cena, I can't see you.
Oh,
can I make that joke? Yeah,
nice.
Can I make that joke or no? Yes, I live bet all the time.
Yes, I would say that is my main source of sports betting income right now, as far as live plays. And you've got it even better than I do, because you've got some of the gray area books that allow drive props. Can we say that?
I like to believe I'm one of the most dangerous men on the planet for drive props, and I'm a firm believer of that.
Yes, absolutely.
I've been profitable for drive props for years at this point. It's really just a great source of income for me.
Big X is here. Big X is here. Says, new to the show. Welcome aboard, brother. I see. Said, said I love live betting. Absolutely. Zach Vaughn said he got the over at 60.5 in that game last night. I swear to God, we're going to talk about it, Zach, because that was our play of the day. And he says they kick the extra point, he gets 61. Unfortunately, Zach, that didn't help me because I had 61 on the nose. I needed that 2-point conversion to work. Oh, all right. Let's get to it, man. We've teased it enough. Yeah, that was he said the Johnnies I knew was the right call, but wasn't offered in my book. That sucks.
There's a storm brewing.
There's a storm.
It's a red storm.
You think it's a red storm? Is it? Are you feel better about the season now, Scott?
A little bit.
Did that mean anything to you at all?
What did?
The St. John's win.
I think they're going to be a good team.
Yeah.
I said going in, I went through the farm play and I mentioned the roster. That team, I think, has a shot to make the tournament.
I think you're right. I liked them last year. They made some money last year. So
and they got a couple reinforcements via the transfer portal. That team, I think, of course, they might fall apart in true St. John's fashion, but I do think they will be on the bubble within the final week or so.
G Money says I like second half bets. Yeah, I like any kind of bets where I can have information. That's why I like live betting, because you've got a leg up. Now you just need to know how to interpret the information, but you've got live real time info.
I actually hit a second half bet. I got lucky on it. I had Gonzaga second half against Dixie State. You got a 40-point favor with an adjusted line of about 32. And Dixie State made, I think, 50% of threes in the first half. I just expected regression, and that's what happened. I got lucky, but second half plays definitely have some value available.
John Cena wants to know if anybody likes William and Mary. I like Mary, not a fan of William. I'll just say it.
I think William was fine his earlier years, and then he kind of fell apart after that.
Who they got tonight, Scott?
Looking at William Mary, you have a pretty interesting matchup against Wake Forest. Now, Wake Forest was a team that, let's just say, had some growing pains last year in the ACC. It seems like what you can tell from the early going, whether it was California, whether it was from some of the other, I want to say bottom feeders in their Power 5 conferences, but the not good teams, really, shocker, did not look that good. Now, William and Mary isn't exactly a great team in the CAA. Do I want to lay that much with Wake Forest? Not really. No. I'd assume that taking the points is probably the move, but I really have no thoughts on that game.
There's been some decent cashes in that range, in that 13 to 18 point range for the Dogs yesterday. I would probably play that. Somebody wanted to know that if we had a problem getting our video posted. To my knowledge, we did not. Did anybody else have a problem, or is it Bill? Is it just you? I don't know. That's what women tell me, Scott. It's not you, it's me.
Oh,
Do you ever have them say that to you? They say it's definitely you.
Once or twice.
Okay. All right. Very good. Hey, let's get to it, man. Let's find out who took it in the shorts. We've certainly alluded to one of those games enough. It's the Hump Day edition of Call the Cops. All right. Very good. I think they're here for me. I really do. So we'll start with
this is a game you had personally.
Yeah, it's a game I had personally, and you've got it at 60.5. That was an even worse beat as a.
You could throw 61 in, but there was 60.5 at some point available, so I used that number.
Okay, fair enough. You've had Eastern Michigan, Ohio over 60.5. Well, for starters, they had 3 trips inside the 10-yard line that ended in field goals. So if any of those go differently, we're good. But even more importantly, you had an opportunity. You should have been right on it. They were 14 points away. There it's 47 halfway through the third quarter. So should have been an easy cover without any sweat, but it ended up being sweat. But you had a chance. You had one of those meaningless touchdowns. Eastern Michigan scored. They went for 2 as they were down 8. They go for the 2-point conversion. Scott, that's what the math says to do, right?
That's what I like to do, but I also didn't have money on the over, so I really would have loved them to kick if I had the over.
So yeah, if they would have kicked for the way I had it handicapped, it would have been a push. But for a lot of people that had 60.5, they just go kick the fucking extra point, and yeah, that did not end that way. So that was definitely a call the cops situation right there. SCM Network says it's always been me. That's seriously, that's the way my life is too. Chicks are like, yeah, it's definitely not me. It is so you.
Well, that's the Seinfeld bit with George when somebody gives him the "It's not you, it's me" speech, and he goes, "I invented the "It's not you, it's me" speech. It's definitely me." And she just goes, "Yeah, it's you. Damn right it is."
As you can guess, Scott, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm as the kids say, I'm a lot. So it takes a very special kind of person to be in a relationship with me. So anyway, go ahead, sir.
So, looking at the second one, if you had a team total in the NBA, if you had the Jazz team total over 115 against Atlanta, you had a 95 points after the third quarter. So, you're in good shape. 20 points for the push, 21 points for the win for a team that's averaging over 30 points per quarter up to this point. Only scored 15 in the fourth quarter, finished with 110.
Very good. Very good. Sorry for the lateness on the banners. I keep thinking, why isn't somebody doing that? And then like, oh yeah, it's me.
Mhm.
There's a lot going on here in my life, Scott. I got a lot going on in real time. Hey, if you had Hofstra Houston under 141.5, oh man. Number one, that should have been a blowout win by Houston. That's a great team there, especially in their own building. But 138 points in regulation. You're like, oh, that's an even number. I wonder. Yep, that's exactly right. 69 apiece. That game goes to overtime. You know you were screwed, and you were. It ends up 83-78, or excuse me, 83-75, 158 total. Your 141.5 was just a distant memory. But you know what? Call the cops.
It was actually kind of crazy that Houston came back to win the game. They trailed for the majority. They were down, I think it was 3 with about 35 seconds left or so.
Yep. Yep.
Came back and won.
Yep, absolutely. And the opposite, Scott, the opposite of the call the cops situation. These are the nice, easy victories. These are where you want to be. The one place you want to be when you make a bet, it's in the rocking chair.
So the first one involves the Citadel, plus 10.5 against Pittsburgh. We mentioned Pittsburgh had one of their best players get involved with police a couple of days prior to the season opener. And, well, the whole team didn't really show up. Yeah, all the sirens, everything like that. Because the Citadel led by 12 at half and won by 15. So Pittsburgh completely no-showed in a game against the Citadel.
The Citadel. Another game goes under, by the way, for the Citadel.
They were so good for the over for so long, but it seems like they've fully pivoted to playing a little bit slower, especially in the second half.
Yep. And, you know, that Pittsburgh team, they were in trouble. They were in trouble last year as, you know, the team basically quit on them about halfway through and didn't get any better. So moving right along, if you had Villanova minus 24.5 against Mount St. Mary's, that one went the way a lot of people thought the Gonzaga game was going. They led by 24 points at halftime, ended up winning by 40. If you had the Wildcats there, that was a nice, easy, no sweat rocking chair win.
And the last one was Loyola Chicago, minus 31 against Coppin State, led by 35 points at halftime and won by 58 points. Now, I know Coppin State defensively is always a mess, but you gave up over 100 points to one of the slowest offenses in the country. What is wrong with you? 103 points to Loyola Chicago? That takes them 3 games to score that in conference play.
That's absolutely brutal. Scott, is Coppin State where they teach you how to buy drugs?
Could be. I don't know. They don't teach you how to play defense.
I know.
They actually play again tonight in a rare non-tournament back-to-back, which is telling you just how badly Coppin State needs the money.
IC said he had Hofstra and the second half plus 12, and the OT screwed him.
That hurts.
Yeah. Scott, Flyers tonight?
Well, hockey has actually gone pretty well for me on the show. Yesterday I said I liked the Hurricanes and Lightning under. That was a sweat-free winner there. Toronto is a pretty decent favorite here at around minus 130. I don't really like how this Toronto team has played up to this point. I know that they have all the star power, and the odds makers will always bet that accordingly. But the Flyers are 6-2-2. They're a solid team. Toronto's 7-5-1. I think there's value on the Flyers there at getting plus money. I think it'll be a close game. I think that it might even go to overtime if you want to throw a sprinkle on it. But I do think that the Flyers are definitely live to win that game. I question the price. And of course, for hockey, we got to talk about our favorite fade in that entire sport. The Arizona Coyotes, who finally won a game, by the way. Congratulations. You now have 3 points on the season. You are 1-10-1. I'm really proud of you. But Minnesota's about -210. I don't mind the puck line there or Minnesota in regulation. That Arizona team might have beaten the Kraken. They have not beaten a non-expansion team yet this season. They're awful.
T-Train's in the house. That's like everybody says Jacksonville hasn't won a game. Well, then they have now, but Jacksonville hadn't won a game in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
T-Train's in the house. He says he's got nothing on tonight's card. That's about how well you like the college card, wasn't it? You didn't like it either, did you?
I didn't think it was great. Then again, I was spoiled because the day prior we had so many games, so I was expecting a little bit less. I thought about maybe looking at DePaul -23.5 against Coppin just because it's a back-to-back. You give up 103 to Loyola. You might give up at least 90 to DePaul.
Yeah.
And fatigue might play a factor, but DePaul's really not a good basketball team. You're just betting the spot and hoping that Coppin once again doesn't stop a nosebleed, which is possible. I saw some people in the comment section talking about Coppin plus 23.5. I really hate taking a back-to-back team for the first 2 games of the season. So you're not even used to back-to-backs at this point.
Right.
It's a really bad spot. It's the polar pass for me, but I decided not to do it. I found something in the NBA I liked more.
T-Train's talking about Michigan over Buffalo. Said it was 15.5. Line's gone down to 12.5. A lot of money.
The Buffalo team, always feisty.
Well, they still remember their tournament upset there. What, 3 years ago? Who'd they beat in the first?
They beat Arizona in the first round a couple years ago.
That's right. Another
beat
Arizona.
DeAndre Ayton.
Another disappointing Arizona performance in the tournament. Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, I think that still is on the people's minds. STM Networks is. I can't believe KU was only -4.5 tonight. Number 3 against.
We were very public-y on that because we both liked Kansas, but you're exactly right. I said Michigan State yesterday would be somewhere between a 6 and a 10 seed for the tournament, and at no point did they look any better than a 6 or a 10 seed. Am I wrong? I feel like they looked like a decent but not overly great college basketball team.
Yeah,
Kansas looks really good.
They do. They look, and they were missing their best rebounder.
Is Lightfoot going to be there for the 2nd decade in a row, or is it the 3rd decade?
He's another one of those guys that he's
been there for 40 years.
My son and I were talking about the other day. Like, it seems, my son's been out of college now 3 years. It seems like Lightfoot was in school when he was in high school.
I think he was a senior during my freshman year.
Zadwick wants to know what would have been the Akron football and the Akron basketball parlay yesterday.
Well, I know the basketball was around 9-1.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm not sure what the football was.
I'm not even sure you could have. Well, what was it? What was the number on that? What was it? 20? What was the spread on that?
Let me see what I can get. Sorry.
I can't remember what it was.
I'll research that.
It'd have paid a shit ton, is what that would have paid. You'd have been plus 900 and plus 3,000 maybe.
They were plus 26.5. It was around 15-1. So let me get the parlay calculator out.
Do it. Put the parlay calculator on that bad boy, because that's a great question. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say it's gonna pay 80-1.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in plus 900 and plus 1,500.
Okay,
$100 would have paid out.
Nice,
$15,900.
So it's 150-1.
Yeah, give or take.
Nice, no, very nice. T-Trade said he took the night off from watching sports. Mama's threatened to castrate me with a butter knife. Ouch.
That hurts.
So it wouldn't even be a quick process. It just like sawing it off. Oh, Jesus. Every guy watching this right now just went like a fucking goose walking over your grave. All right, Scott. Well, there was some disappointing performances yesterday. There was a lot of them. It took a minute to narrow this down, but we have narrowed it down indeed, because that's what we are paid to do. So we have come up with it. Just like your parents say to you on a daily basis, Scott, I'm not mad, just disappointed. Your
dog okay over there?
All right, very good. Yeah, he sees somebody. So I'm going to let you do this one. I'm going to mute. Go ahead.
Sounds good. So for this one, we're going to look at one of the favorite teams that we like to roast, especially around NCAA tournament time, the Virginia Cavaliers. And we know they started off their season. You might have been wondering why Navy wasn't in the rocking chair segment. It's because we're talking about it now. So in Virginia, at home, they lost some players from last year, but still ranked team. And they were favored by 15.5 points yesterday. Now, Navy is, I'd say, a decent basketball team, not great by any means, but looking at the actual finishing of that game, Virginia was at home for season opener, of course.
Right.
It scored
the crowds are back. Everybody's fired up.
Crowd's back. Everyone's excited. Virginia scored 3 points in the final 8 minutes and 44 seconds. They went without a basket for 8 straight minutes at home against Navy in the second half. And you'd think that maybe they got blown out. They lost by 8. So it was a close game anyway.
Right.
They couldn't score. How do you not score any points, including free throws, for 8+ minutes at home as a ranked team against Navy? Are you out of your mind?
It still went over.
It went over because of the first half. It almost went under. That was almost an all-time bad beat.
I know. That would have been a horrid bad beat. You know, this Virginia team, at the best of circumstances, are offensively challenged. But how could you not? Because the service academy, Scott, because they have limitations on how tall you can be. I don't know if you knew that or not, but you can only be like 6'6" or 6'8". That's all you can be. The only reason David Robinson was such a star for Navy is because he grew once he got to college. He was 6'6" when he got there. He had a late growth spurt and he like shot up to 6'10", 6'11", whatever he was. So my point is, why would you not just pound the damn ball inside repeatedly? Try to draw a contact, and you should certainly have the size advantage. So why are you not just pounding the ball inside? I don't know.
Can you at least try to get to the foul line? Maybe once.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Good things happen when you drive the ball.
JC's wondering if Virginia's going to stink all year. Probably not. I'm sure they'll be okay. They're not going to compete for an ACC title, in my opinion. They don't have enough talent. But I do think they're going to be another 1 and done or 2 and done. They just don't have enough scores. They just can't do it.
Yeah, I agree. They're a team. I guarantee. I'll tell you when they turn around is when I start fading them. That's because I see this team with Virginia every year. I go, man, this Virginia team is going to suck. So you start playing the under and you start fading them.
The under usually works. It's just the fact that they just can't score, but they suddenly might have a good game or two. That team, it was actually kind of ironic. It was on the ACC network. After Virginia lost, they played an hour documentary of Virginia winning the championship, which I found very amusing, by the way. But I feel like that, it sounds like a hot take, was the worst thing that could have happened to Virginia and Wisconsin long term, because now they're going to think that this is actually a viable system to win a championship.
Yes.
You can't win a championship in the shot clock era unless you have a lot of luck on your side, scoring roughly 55 points. You're not going to win. That's why you lose to 16 seeds. It's because you can't put them away with scoring. Everything's a grind. You make it really difficult on yourself. Is that a fair statement?
It is. It is. And they've infected other teams too. You and I were talking before the show about Wisconsin.
Wisconsin already had that, though, because Bennett's father played there and Bo Ryan did the same thing. But look at the Wisconsin team that lost to Duke. They had Kaminsky, first-round pick. Decker, first-round pick. They had a lot of talent. So they could have run any system and probably done well. But you're not going to win, and you're going to get upset frequently if you voluntarily score less than about 65 points in an NCAA tournament game.
Yep, very true. STM Network, as I have a hunch who this is pointed out. Remember somebody trying to teach his kids how dull a butter knife was. When Scott, since you don't have any kids, it falls on me. And that actually did happen one time because my kids were mishandling a butter knife, or they were all worried about it. And I said, just stop it. They're not going to hurt you. It's a goddamn butter knife. And were they trying
the pen trick around the fingers?
I don't know what they were. There was 4 of them, Scott. I was always overwhelmed. But
okay,
I showed them how a dull butter knife was not dull, and I just ran it across my arm like 10 times. Said, see there, it's fine. So about 30 seconds later, we looked down, and there's like 10 little trickles of blood on my arm, and the kids all freaked out. And so to this day, they're deathly afraid of butter knives.
Okay.
T-Train says now his dog is going ape shit. Sorry, guys. My wife's at work today. She's usually got dog sitting during the show, and it has fallen to me. So he has to be here with me. If he's not, he gets paranoid. He scratches at the door and barks. It's even worse. So apologies if that's Milton, by the way. Milton, my hybrid corgi. All right, Scott, we got one more, and we had a bunch of them. Again, we had to sort through it, but let's find out. How the odds makers? Oh my God, they're drunk. All right, so this is one, and again, we had to choose from a few, but if you had the FIU Georgia total, you're looking at that and you're thinking 151 and a half. Okay, I get it. Georgia, they've got some players, they've got some talent, but FIU, really? Well, your hunch was right because they put up 49 in the first half. And you're thinking, well, they're going to have a bigger second half. Yeah, they did. Put up 60 in the second half, still landed 109, a mere 42 and a half points short of the total. Scott, think there might be some adjustments coming in the next game?
Could be, but I thought that Florida International would play well defensively against Georgia. They were my quote-unquote upset special pick that somebody asked for. They covered. They didn't win. They were leading by 5 at the half. So I think that was a pretty good read. Georgia still is the better athlete, so they ended up winning the game. But that was a dogfight throughout. I like the term rock fight to sum up that performance.
Yep, I'm partial to a monkey knife fight in an alley.
Okay, that works.
Yeah,
It's a hell of an acronym.
monkey knife. What is it?
No, an acronym would just be MK. You go through all the letters.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Somebody said that they're liking New Mexico in the pit. Pitt always a tough place to play. New Mexico, not quite the team the last few years, Scott, that we've seen out of them in the past. How do you like them this year?
FAU was atrocious on the road last year. I'm not taking them. I got to go with New Mexico. New Mexico might not be a great team in their conference. They're usually a very good home team. Florida Atlantic was a night and day on the highway compared to home. I'm assuming the road struggles continue. I'll take New Mexico.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the good home team there. And it was tricky, as we found out yesterday. It was tricky laying some chalk, and a lot of the chalk numbers, like we said, were right in the mid-teens. They're the 13 to 17, those numbers. So I would certainly keep an eye out. I can't back this Buffalo team in spite of the line move. And that line move.
Well, I can't back them now because you already missed 3 points. The boat has already sailed.
Well, that's true too, but I think
I also just really like Michigan.
Yeah, I think even at 15 and a half, that's right. New Mexico has Pitino. Good point.
I don't know if that's good or it's actually good because Pitino's got to start the year off well before his Minnesota teams would always collapse.
Hide your daughters.
In conference play, hide your daughters. But for out of conference, they usually start off pretty well with Pitino.
Ninja wants to know Buffalo, Michigan total 153.
First game of the season is always tough to call.
Yeah.
I'll go with the over. But it's once again just a small lean. I think both teams have a lot of offensive talent. But Michigan was my preseason pick to win the whole thing. I think getting Dickinson back is a huge deal. I like the 5 stars they brought in. It's mostly just fading Gonzaga because Gonzaga just hurts too much every year when I try to love this team, and they hurt me every year in the tournament. But I like Michigan a lot. I think they're very good. I think they'll be in the Final Four. Buffalo is a good team as well. They got a lot of experience. It might take a little bit of, I'd say, time to get everybody fully on board just with chemistry. So that might take a little bit, but I think at 12 and a half, you've missed a lot of value already. I'm not going to play it. I think that Michigan has a chance to cover the 12 and a half. I just think they're very talented.
Yeah, that's a good solid team. Pointed out that Pitino brings his best player to the desert there in Albuquerque to New Mexico. So
New Mexico's still, going to be a decent team, not great, but I think they're good enough to beat Florida Atlantic at home.
Yeah, I think they're good enough to cover.
Well, they're +1, so beating would cover.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
There you
go. All right, very good.
Zodwick, I can't believe that too. Can you believe Gonzaga won without Mark Few on the sideline? That'll show them. Don't drink and drive. You'll miss the Dixie State game.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that's
I believe we called that to a T, didn't we?
Yeah, we couldn't decide if it was going to be 1 or 2, but yes.
Yeah, we said one team against some California Tech penal school. Turned out to be Dixie State. Whatever.
Yeah. Penn FSU under 148 and a half.
I'd look at the under.
I was going to say that sounds high to me.
It sounds high because Penn as an Ivy school doesn't exactly have great athletes. They play a little bit slow. You're looking at Florida State. no matter how many guys they have, everyone's about 7 feet tall, or it feels that way. They're going to punt half the shots at the rim. I mean, it's really crazy how Florida State and Purdue seem to just hoard about all of the 7-footers, and they're all on the same team. Have you noticed that the last couple of years?
Yeah. They don't have a lot of speed per se, but they're definitely a team that can
they put their hands up, and Penn's players are 6'5". They don't know what the hell's happening. Yeah, I think they're going to really struggle.
Well, don't worry, you're going to be working for them. So
yeah,
that's the good news about going to the Ivy League. Once you get past the athletics, and you got
a good job after college. I think that's the good thing.
And those are that's right. Penn didn't play that. Yeah, the whole Ivy League took football and basketball off last year.
I think Yale's going to be very good in the Ivy this year. That's my brief Ivy analysis. Yale, good. That's my brief.
Okay, very good. Hey, knock it off. Just knock it off, okay? Thank you. What else you guys like tonight? Let's start.
I see Nathan asking about Long Beach against Idaho. Idaho stinks, man. I know Long Beach is a team you don't exactly love backing on the road, taking a California school, not playing California, but Idaho. Oh God, that team is so bad. If they win 5 games in a given year, they have a parade. They are awful.
Too much drama in the LBC tonight.
A lot of line movement on that, though. I think Long Beach State open up at around 5.5 or 6. It's mostly up to 7.5. Idaho is just a terrible basketball team. They can't score.
Well, and I guess the one thing you can say about Idaho is they're usually better than Idaho State.
Usually, not in basketball, though.
No, not in, the Vandals.
And Idaho State's not good either.
No, the Vandals are awful, though, dude.
Yeah.
See anything in hockey tonight?
Well, I mentioned the Wild in regulation. I think they'll get it done against the Coyotes. I think there's value on the Flyers.
You like the puck line there?
Yeah, you could. I like that too. Gets a little tricky sometimes because you never know if they're going to score the empty net, how that's going to work out. But I do think in regulation or puck line, there's value on. Arizona won a game. Congratulations. You're still 1-10. Your team's awful. Minnesota, underrated hockey team.
Yeah, good squad. And they kind of came on late last year.
Yeah.
Out there in the semi bubble or whatever the hell that you called that.
Coyotes will roll over. They'll probably lose 4-1, something like that.
So we gave short shrift to the MAC last night to MACtion because we were all just kind of jizzing.
I keep saying to blindly take the dogs in the MAC for football. 2-1 last night.
2-1 last night. Yeah, and Buffalo just couldn't get it done at all. Colorado State Pine Bluff on Friday.
I actually like the over in that game. Pine Bluff, though, shout out to them. Led at the half at Creighton. Good for them.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
I like the over. Seems like Pine Bluff might actually be able to score a little bit. Colorado State can't guard anybody. They'll score 100 points.
Hey, and shout out to us because we have 3 auto fades, and we laid off 2 of them yesterday.
We did. Unfortunately,
but you didn't.
I didn't. I laid off 1 of them, and Pine Bluff did get there and covered.
Oh yeah, like I said, they led.
Yeah.
And more importantly, the Mississippi Valley State. What are I always want to say
Delta Devils, man.
I always want to say the Dust Devils. Yeah, the Delta Devils. They are not good this year. Minnesota has not had a win this season where they didn't also cover the puck line. There you go. There's a valuable piece of hockey capping information from STM Network. Nathan Cerna says Pine Bluff must have heard us talking about him. We always joke about that.
Well, it's actually funny you brought that up because we thought about maybe doing Creighton for the farm play, but we looked at the rosters and we actually liked Pine Bluff getting the points in that game.
Yeah, because Creighton had replaced, I think, everybody. I don't think
they lost 5 key guys.
Yeah, they did
Zagorowski's not there. Ballott's not. They lost everyone.
They brought 1 back at the most. 1 starter back at the most. I don't think they brought back any. So
they're on 35. They're missing their entire starting lineup from last year. Like we couldn't take Creighton in that spot. We couldn't.
STM Network, another piece of hockey capping information. Every game Arizona has lost, they have also not beat the puck line.
Yeah, they get buried.
So you're saying there's a chance then.
Yeah.
All right, we've kind of gone through that. Any NBA things got your attention for tonight? I know you and I have one cooked up, spoiler alert, for Bet the Farm.
I have a play of the day on the Pacers and Nuggets game. That line is moved. So once again, be it a good line move. Hopefully it cashes for us. Besides that, New Orleans favored by 4.5 against Oklahoma City. I know Oklahoma City's bad. a 1-win team is favored by 4.5. Ingram still might not play.
That's the game that I liked there. I liked OKC, but that's going to be a butthole pucker because you're banking on OKC. They could lose by 25, and you look like a moron. But Creighton coach not so good. Yeah, not yet.
McDermott's okay. I don't think he's great.
No,
McDermott is back, right? After he had the brief suspension, he's still there, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he's still there.
I mean, he may be a bit of a racist, but he's back.
I guess that counts for something.
You put him in the NHL, he'll fit in well there.
In the NHL, he'll get fired 7 years from now.
Thunder on the money line? Fuck yeah, why not? You're getting
why not? Live a little.
180 or so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Pelicans are my favorite win total under. 1-10. Not good.
How much of that do you think your anti-Pelican bias comes into play? Because you hate the Pelicans.
Truth is none of it, because everything I said about the Pelicans has been right. The reason why I liked the under was because I thought that Zion would be out indefinitely. He might not even play because the Pelicans might be so far in the cellar. There's no point to bring him back. But there's nothing during the offseason I liked about what they did. They have a brand new coach. I hate the moves that Griffin made in the front office. You traded for a 3-point shooter when you lost your main facilitator in Alonzo Ball. There's no ball movement on the team. And I also thought they'd trade Ingram halfway through the season, and he's been injured. So the Pelicans should not be favored against anybody. I'd lay the points with Duke against the Pelicans. So no, I'm joking, but I would take the points with the Thunder or the money line. Until the Pelicans win a game, I'll take the money line on the other side.
Zodwick's asking about the Bulls, the team that we've been on here a little bit early as they go up against Dallas. Dallas, a little bit of a psycho team. They're still 7-3. Both these teams are 7-3. Bulls.
I don't think Dallas is very good.
I
roasted the Pelicans. I took them plus the points against Dallas earlier this week, which looked really good for about 2.5 quarters. And then the whole thing fell apart.
Yeah.
But I like this Bulls team a lot. I think they're very good. Dallas, besides Doncic, once again, does not really have many guys.
No way.
Offensively, they're not very good.
Porzingis hurt?
He was hurt at some point.
He's
back now.
Yeah. Right.
He's been okay. I can't say he's been great, but you're going down the supporting cast, just the actual roster. Are they that good of a team?
I don't know. We didn't think it last year, and they had a nice little run there in the playoffs. So,
well, it depends what you consider a run, because they lost in 7 to the Clippers. We thought they'd lose in 5.
What's that?
We thought they'd lose in 5. They lost in 7.
They had some impressive games, and they had the Clippers on the ropes.
And the Clippers were just a psycho team too.
Well, that's very true. Warriors tonight, buddy.
I can't fade them. They're the best team in the league right now.
7.5 Minnesota. That seems like a gift to me.
Minnesota's been losing a bunch of games. They blew the overtime game against Memphis where they led by 14 in the fourth quarter. That Warriors defense, number 1 in the league, that's a unit right there.
It really is. Porzingis is a plastic fork. That's a great description right there. All right, buddy. Man, we're flying. Okay, it's time. Let's get to it. You know the drill, guys. It is that time of the show where we have put our heads together. We've come up with our very favorite play. I want everybody out there to put your straw hats on. I'll wait. There it is. Okay, put it on there. Good job. All right, climb on board your John Deere, fire that baby up, and give me a yeehaw, because it's time for Bet the Farm. Mr. Reichel, we had a farm play yesterday. How did that go?
So we took a modest spread yesterday. We had a St. John's minus 44.5.
Boom.
Against Mississippi Valley State, and they won by 60 plus.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeehaw! All right, there you go. We were up 41 at halftime, Scott. We weren't quite dancing yet.
I parlayed the spread with the over, so it felt great.
It looked good. Well, your over did not look good because they had 19 points. Did Mississippi Valley State at halftime? They were not
43 in the second half, though.
Yeah, they put it on it. So, because we have been hot, you've been lucky. It's still you, buddy. Winners do the walk.
By the way, I misspoke. St. John's won by 58. They didn't win by 60. Whatever. They covered. It's all that matters. Anyway.
Did somebody roast you on that?
No, I just looked it up because I wanted to make sure.
All right.
But either way, we're going to be looking at the NBA, and we like the Toronto Raptors +3 against the Boston Celtics. I really don't understand this line at all. Boston has been an underachieving team up to this point. Toronto's actually been surprisingly decent, have a winning record. Toronto's been very good on the road. The Raptors are 4-0 in their 4 road games, while the Celtics are 0-3 at home this season. Toronto also the better offensive team. Toronto ranks 16th in offense efficiency. Boston ranks 21st. And the main reason why we like this is the fact that Jaylen Brown, arguably the Celtics' best player this season, is out with a hamstring injury, averaging a team-high 25.6 points per game. So Toronto has the deeper team. They've been playing the better basketball, and Boston's missing its arguably best player. And yet Toronto is getting 3. I don't understand this at all. Give me the Raptors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a really good situational spot, I think, for the Raptors here. And again, I don't think either one of us have been too impressed with this Boston team so far. They've had some weird lapses. They've been bad at home. And like you said, Jaylen Brown's out. That's the cincher for me. I think we're getting a good price on that team. We'll take the
They're going to win the game.
Yep. I think that's absolutely true. So there you go, guys. That wraps it up for the show. As always, we appreciate you stopping by. Please don't forget to give us the thumbs up, to like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know, we decided to do a live show because it would be more fun. We thought it would be better information, but we knew it was going to cost us viewers. So please do your best to stop by and to share it, to tell your friends if you're having fun, and because we really like doing it. So anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe, rate. What else? Got anything else?
No, let's get some winners.
Absolutely. Good luck on all your plays tonight, guys. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow on Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. Peace.